capabilities when we're doing working in context modeling. So I'm just going to switch over a display configuration here to simplify our assembly a little bit. And the first thing that I want you to notice is when we go into in context placement of new components in our top level assembly, you'll notice that the interface has been streamlined to where you no longer have the dialog boxes that are going to pop up in the middle of the screen. So basically, at any point in time, you can just come in and start specifying, where you're going to information report the system. Anytime you can go back to the traditional way of doing things where we have the dialog box information. And so, I want to go in and use a particular template that has a particular type of material associated with it. So in the ribbon bar, we're allowing you to do a lot of different things, but just in a cleaner environment. And so, once we go through and start creating whatever kind of component that we're looking for, you'll notice that using, things like an extrude command, I can just very quickly come in without a sketch. I can click on an individual face, and in ST6, we're now giving you the options to go in and include like internal loops on your part model, so you can go in and just drag any kind of internal loop. There's also an option to exclude your internal loops and only see the exterior of whatever face it is that you're pulling on. And as well, you can just have, some internals. So for the extrude, you have those three different options. And we give you the same capability whenever you're working with an actual revolve command as well. So we can come in and revolve and say we want to snap, down to this bottom corner of our existing assembly. So very quick and easily, you'll notice that we can generate that part with material through a really nice, clean interface. So to continue along with this, I'm just going to go in and start adding some more some features to this particular part. So I just want to find the reference holes in the back area of our part model, and we'll just go in and pull those through and do a cut. And if I turn on the visibility of a couple of socket head cap screws, you'll see that we definitely have this interference in our actual part model. So just like what I've done with creating those holes, we can come in and we can definitely specify that information as well, and we'll drag those out and give us some clearance around those particular holes. Now, because I chose the actual diameter of the socket head cap screw, basically I've got line-to-line interference. So back in, a couple of releases ago, we picked up hole recognition, so we can go into hole recognition and actually add a little bit of clearance to these holes to just make things a little cleaner and neater on the actual screen itself. So just do a little cosmetic here to kind of round over some of these sharp edges on my model. So that's going to give us our finished part top down without having to go through a lot of different dialogue to create this. The next configuration that I want to look at is working with this handle. So if we kind of take a look at what's going on in this particular area, you'll notice that I have a couple of bushings in here. So I'm going to turn those off and turn off this bolt, and you'll notice that you just have a straight through hole in this particular part model. So new to ST6 is where, I've got all this detail that's here, but I've got a simplified hole there. So what I can do is I can go in and I can subtract any pieces of information. In this case, I want to subtract these two bushings away from the actual handle itself. And it's going to give me something that's going to look like this. And I'm going to just go in and cut a section through here so we can kind of get a feel for what this is going to look like. So if we come into something like this, then turn off the display, you'll notice now I went in with just one command and created multiple details to this actual part